Why are we on the screen? No one wants to see us.
Turn to pick.
God. We've got no personality to put on the camera.
Liquid's turn to pick.
Okay. All right. So Mineski versus Liquid. Both teams are. Liquid did not look too hot yesterday. They went, I think, 2-4. They got 2-0 by Newbie. They got 2-0 by Secret, and then they did 2-0. I'm trying to remember who they 2-0.
TNC, I think it was, wasn't
No.
it? Actually, no, that was who Mineski beat.
Yeah, Mineski's 2-2, and they 2-0 TNC and lost 0-2 to Keen.
Yeah, so Team Liquid 2-0'd Chaos, and then they got 2-0'd by both Newbie as well as Team Secret. Yeah. We're actually casting the Newbie one, which was, a great display from Newbie. But Mineski was also the other one yesterday. We got to cast them playing up against Keen. They did not play well against that fast tempo that Keen was able to do, but they did 2-0 the fellow Southeast Asian team TNC yesterday. Yep. So it was a little up and down from Mineski. You're never 100% certain what you're going to get from them, but they're starting with an Ogre, a hero we've seen already multiple times this morning.
Mineski's turn
like VG Gaming ran in both their games today against Virtus Pro.
Yep.
Never-ending multicasts.
And the thing to keep in mind in this series is if you're going into this and you didn't catch yesterday and you're like, okay, Team Liquid is clearly the favorite on paper. They have multiple international titles. Not international titles. They have one international title, but they've won many tournaments over the course of the last couple of years. You're like, okay, Liquid is a very strong team and Mineski's clearly the underdog. Based on what we saw yesterday, maybe not necessarily the case. I kind of don't know who I favor in this matchup just based on what we saw. So this could be either really exciting or it could be very one-sided for either side, really, depending on who shows up today. But Liquid yesterday could not have been happy with what they showed.
No.
It was, they kind of got ran over by Secret. It was not even close. And their series against Newbie, you know, they held on a bit in some instances, but it kind of felt like in both games you felt like Newbie were just going to win.
Yeah.
After 15 minutes.
It didn't feel like Liquid were 100% all on the same page, but I also feel like we put a lot of pressure on Mind Control with his rotations to really make something work. And I know Mind Control has said that he feels the offlane is it's a pressure cooker for you. You make one mistake and you basically lost the game for your team, and he felt that too. So I'm even more concerned mentally for how Team Liquid are meant to pick themselves up. Like they replaced Matumba, they brought in Wii. They were looking for a mental change in their roster to try and get them hungry again, have some fresh blood come in and change things up. But after yesterday, like they're really going to be tested. And Kuro's captaincy, obviously, if there's someone to pull them together, he'll be one person to do that.
And they need wins today if they want to start in the upper bracket, which is, you know, what a lot of fans expect out of Liquid, is what Liquid expect out of themselves.
And to avoid the best of one in the lower bracket. Like, that's a nightmare for Team Liquid. Or for any team in the lower bracket.
Any team, really. The first round is very scary. And we're even saying this, like, you know, there's even the possibility of getting last. Like, we're already talking lower bracket, but I think with Liquid's current amount of wins, they're not even guaranteed out of the group stage. It's been one day. They have plenty of games to go. They've played
they've played
six games
they've
out
played
of
3 series.
They've played 6 games out of 16, so they have plenty of time to recover. But if today is also a bad day, then we're kind of already looking at a lower bracket start almost. Getting to the upper bracket at TI generally requires 8 wins, I want to say, minimum.
Okay.
Because to get top 4 in a group of 9 teams, each playing 16 games, 8 would be the low breaking point for top 4, which is even unlikely. You probably need 9 or 10 wins, most likely in these groups. So, yeah, got to start getting those W's. Their best potential score now is 12-4. So, you know, only one way to go.
Yeah. Well, let's leave the numbers alone, and we'll just break it back down to our game, because we've had 2 new supports for us, at least. We haven't had a Warlock played for our casting.
And we've not had a Witch Doctor either.
And we have not had a Witch Doctor, so 2 new ones for us.
We did have 1 Ogre yesterday from Liquid, which did not go too well for Kuroki. Have the other Ogres we've seen 1 core, I want to say, from Alliance. There was a game with a core Ogre, I feel like.
VG ran it twice against Virtus Pro this morning, and they
won.
Both
of them were core?
No, they were both support.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They were both DY.
Yes. So what I'm getting at here is we're talking about Ogre as a support, but there's a potential that he is a core, right?
Okay.
But I think in this game, more than likely the support duo is Mirana Witch Doctor, and Ogre is position 3.
I know,
but there's also the possibility of the other one.
Mineski likes to do some fancy stuff, but I don't know if they want to go down core Ogre road.
We'll see. Mirana's looked great as a 4. That's why I'm thinking, right? Like, you could be doing that. At the same time, though, I believe Moon plays a great Mirana mid,
Yes.
which we
10
haven't really seen
seconds
any team
remaining.
do, I think. I think it's been either 4 or...
5 seconds remaining.
Has it been anything else than 4 in the games we
No,
watched?
we've only seen 4 that like in the
Yeah.
games I've seen. It's only been 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ember Spirit comes up as well, so Mineski still open for what they can choose, but I like Team Liquid's lineup. Like this just feels a lot easier for them to do. Centaur difficult to kill, Warlock, Rubik easily interchangeable between the lanes, great lane presence. Ember Spirit just allows Weeha to do his thing, and they just pick up a miracle hero at the end. And it looks like we actually get our hero for Moon, so it will be the Death Prophet. So maybe you do actually get your. It would have to be like a KP Ogre, or a KP Mirana at this point.
Yeah. I kind of... If I think about Mineski's team identity, I
10
kind of like the
seconds remaining.
KP Ogre more. Just because the way they like playing around KP is like kind of a front line for them, Aura guy, and a lot of the games at least he will take up that role. And Ogre is a great hero for getting auras for your team, since nothing on Ogre feels like a massively impactful item. It's not like, oh, you get the Axe and it's a total game changer. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it is, but usually what core Ogre will do is buy up these team items that the lineup needs. And if you're playing with Death Prophet, you would love to have auras and go high ground with your ulti.
Actually,
So.
just being able to tank through so much. Like,
Ogre is
with-
tanky with items, really tanky.
Yeah. Like we always saw like Virtus Pro where
10 seconds
like they would always just
remaining.
run this support ogre that will tank through everything. It's like, oh, what's he got? One bracer,
5 seconds
and he's
remaining.
just taking an entire team. It's like, okay, maybe this hero is good as a core role. But Mineski are in their final ban, so Wraith King was the ban from Team Liquid. So they are thinking too that like obviously there's just the one position left over to grab. The only question mark will be is if it's Ogre or Mirana 3. Don't know if that will change the game that much though. And there's not a great set. Like, well, I suppose the setup for Mirana is a stun from Ogre, but that's not great.
It's decent. It's 1.5 seconds stun on all levels. The Fire Blast is pretty good for it. Well,
Lifestealer, great against Centaur.
yep. Against Ember, the matchup is a bit... It's strange because you can't really kill him, and he can't really kill you. You kind of just avoid each other. And as far as infesting goes, there's no, like, perfect hero to infest to kill Ember either. They don't have, like, a Storm with an Orchid or this kind of thing to
But
get him in there.
you do
10
get a great
seconds
front liner,
remaining.
like a second front liner for Mineski, which
do.
allows the Death Prophet just to beat through towers.
5
So
And
seconds
Lifestealer is
remaining.
great against all the other heroes, because the Ember is debatable, right? You can kite him, and then when the rage runs out, he can start chaining you and be annoying, but against all the other heroes, Lifestealer is super good. He can remove Fatal Bonds on himself. He's good against Centaur in lane. He's good against Rubik in many ways. Like, Rubik can steal rage, but outside of that, you don't care about what spell he has. And first Terrorblade of the tournament,
You are
actually.
It is.
It
Oh.
was unpicked yesterday. It was one of the unpicked heroes. I looked at it earlier.
Miracle.
Interesting.
Wait, how does Miracle not have the Arcana?
Good question. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like it.
We've got everything.
Yeah,
Literally everything.
He's pimped out.
I'm loving that Kuro set.
It's the coolest Warlock set.
Yeah.
You
Like,
can.
he just like with the little spinny things.
That's
it's-
one of the new immortals from this year.
It looks like the Game of Thrones.
Oh,
with the-
yeah,
with the
I know what
way-
you mean,
With
yeah,
the way
yeah.
it spins around.
the rest of the set is from last year, I think, and it's my favorite Warlock set. It's really, really good. But yeah, this, which is originally a lantern, not really a lantern anymore, is one of the new items.
He
Also
now
really
holds the power of the sun in his hand.
cool. Wait, since when does Mirana have a golden headpiece for her tiger? I don't know if I've seen this one before.
I haven't seen that one either. You know, the silliest thing though, like, is I actually think Mirana is based off Ice 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 because she's never wearing pants.
Oh.
That's why
Always shorts.
it's like bike shorts. It's like all she's got on under there. It's like
Bike shorts and slippers. It's actually true. It's literally him. And the voice too. Everything just matches.
yeah, it's totally. Anyway, but yeah, so Terrorblade pickup. How's like it gives them that push power that they're probably searching for, and just that nice uncontrollable element during the team fights. Like, what do you get? Like, you've got silence, you've got mass stuns available that may mess up with his thunder.
It's mainly
doesn't match. He's got a nunchuck as well as a sword. It's like you put in Mikey with Leonardo. Like, the totals are not quite right.
Yeah, my models on my screen aren't even loading, so Witch Doctor's actually invisible and there's just a wall.
Hey,
That's
it's fine, Sin.
What's going on over here?
As long as my screen works properly, then
that's the
the
one people
people
see.
at home can see everything.
I'm not angry. I'm
just
just
disappointed.
disappointed.
Yeah, so the Terrorblade, the logic here is Terrorblade is really good against Lifestealer. It's one of the heroes that just flat out kills him through rage. The physical damage is overwhelming. If Lifestealer goes Radiance build, you can get a Radiance Reflection whenever rage is down. And Terrorblade also does pretty well against DP. He has innately high armor, which is good against both of these enemy cores. And it's also, on top of everything, it's one of those, how to say, liquid under pressure heroes. They've turned to this hero many a time when things have got tough and had Miracle have outstanding Terrorblade games. So there's a lot of like there's a lot of confidence for Liquid in this hero.
I'm wondering if that's also like the way Kuro was just approaching. I was like, you know, let's just build up our confidence for our team today, guys. That's all.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be a part of it. Like comfort zone, get heroes that you're very used to, get heroes where everybody knows exactly what to do. Maybe except Wii because he hasn't played too much with them, but everybody else in this team knows exactly how to play a Terrorblade game.
Yep. Well, Team Liquid. Looks like, for the moment, mind control. He went Retaliate to begin with. Took a hell of a lot of damage from the mid tower. But he doesn't care. Just zone out Nico. It's going to be a straight 2-2 rune trade up. No one on bottom lane is going to try and contest it. So it will be Kuro working with Miracle on the bottom lane. My god, that's loud. I'm just going to get in there right now and just unit speech. Down you go. Just a little bit. How the hell was Cap using that kind of level during the last game?
Good question.
Must have just been deafening to him. Yeah, so Miracle working with Kuro for the Warlock on that bottom lane, and then it's KP Ogre, double Mango Stout, 6 Tangos to begin with Raging Potato, Mr. Ringer Basilius from the very beginning, playing Mirana in the off lane. He's out dual safe lane, Nico and Ninja Boogie together with GH and Mind Control against him. And then Weeha and Moon, and it really feels like that Creep Wave's pushed a hell of a long way up already. Underneath the tower, and Moon holds the high ground.
Yeah, this matchup, I want to say, is DP favored for the most part, at least in the beginning. Getting a little bit of damage going out on Miracle, it should be fine.
He actually tanked the arrow for Kuro. Just
what a teammate.
Yeah.
Carry tanking it for the support. Yeah, Warlock Terrorblade is actually kind of a classic lane in the sense that Terrorblade just wants to farm. He doesn't have too much aggressive potential, especially in dual lanes. So what Warlock offers him is sustain. Just keep him alive. He has very low health but high armor, so it makes the heal from Warlock that much more effective. And yeah, together they should be able to hold their own here for a while, at least.
This top lane just a mess.
Transcends expectation.
Well, GH, open wounds up, Ninja Boogie's coming over, gonna land the paralyzing cast, some decent damage into GH. Diving into the tower, however, will not happen. GH has the boot, so he already moves fast enough to get back into relative safety. And this feels like a little bit more of a passive early game. Like, people are harassing down, just burning through the consumables, but like, how do you actually find a kill in these lanes?
It's kind of the expected thing, right? Like, you have a Warlock Terrorblade lane that's ultra passive. The other lane is a Rubik Centaur lane, which has aggressive potential, but it's playing against a counter matchup in the Lifestealer, so they can't really do much either. So it kind of comes down to, can you find kills mid? That's what it's about right now. It's Ember versus DP with a potential roaming from Mirana. That's where you're going to see the kill if you see it. But Weeha did see the Mirana's rotation. He got his courier without losing it, and he should be fine for now at least. But when this Flame Guard ends, if he gets caught off guard here, Mirana's just going to get a range creep away from Moon's probably not going to be too happy about that.
No, but then again, Weeha doesn't have the Flame Guard left anymore.
It's still a good amount of damage being done. Yeah, he's struggling actually on this Ember. He's losing the lane. I think that's to be expected that DP wins this lane by a bit. Oh, he got another arrow.
That actually may be it with the Crypt Swarm. The Fairy Fire, Weeha gets a little bit more life, but Moon's attack follows through the tree line. GH TP's in, but it's a second too late. Maybe with Feybolt level 1, it wouldn't be enough to kill off Moon. And he doesn't have the mana to use both telekinesis as well as Fade Bolt.
Yeah, that's just really, really big for this lane in mid. First of all, DP is winning a bit by default. Then the Mirana rotates, forces him to buy a salve, and then he still dies. So Weeha is now 700 net worth behind in this mid lane. And Moon looks exposed right now. He's low, but he has his own healing salve and a bracer flying out. Once he gets this, the kill potential from Liquid, I just don't think it's there in this mid lane.
I suppose this is also like the downside, like GH's rotation really doesn't do much. That's your kill potential you talk about. If he was on like an ES or something like that, it would have been like a harder rotation in that could do something. But Kuro can't rotate off either. He still needs to sit down here with Miracle, giving him the Shadow Word, giving him the life to fight against KP.
Yep.
But this is... like,
that's one lane that's going well for Liquid, at least.
Yeah.
Bottom lane is going well. Top lane is going probably slightly better than expected, actually. This is a very difficult lane for them. And mid lane is not going, it's not looking hot at all. But, you know, Mirana roaming, get a kill. That's how it goes.
yeah. Just kind of also interesting to watch a Terrorblade who hasn't really burned Metamorphosis yet. With the creep wave
True,
behind him,
yeah.
maybe it's time to actually go for something. But he's gone for Conjure Image as well as Metamorphosis, so he wants to do something with it.
He hasn't used it
No.
at all, right? So mostly what Terrorblade will do is he will Metamorphosis the first creep wave to get guarantee CS. Oh, GH is in trouble.
He's okay.
Are you sure about that? Is that level 1 Melodic? Yeah, he's okay. I actually, this is close. Okay,
17.
17 HP. It's always 17 with Dota, isn't it?
It is.
It always is.
Yeah, but, sorry, Metamorphosis Miracle. Not
Yeah,
using it.
usually you use this on the first creep wave on Terrorblade to secure CS, and then when you want to start pushing the tower, you have it again. But I feel like Miracle didn't use it at all, which is kind of unusual. One of the other really good Terrorblade players that more or less consistently does exactly that is Ramses from VP. You'll always see him use the Metamorphosis first wave and do really well with it. Mind control.
They're going to go for the
it's gonna
Mallet
hurt.
again.
Yes,
He's
the
just going to
TP
TP away.
Yeah, he knew he was going to die from this. Good call. Long TP though.
And he's going back to the Shrine.
Good early game from Mineski so far. They should be feeling pretty good about themselves. All of their cores should be reporting, I'm doing well, my game's good.
They want to go again on Weeha. Reggie Potato just needs a little bit more information, but Kuro has now moved himself in towards the mid lane.
Yeah. Since I think they knew Mirana is in here, and because of that, the Terrorblade can be alone bottom for a little bit. Soon, Miracle is going to transition into the jungle, so I think the reason Kuroki has left him is that Miracle's like, I'm fine here now, you can leave me alone, I'm going to farm this wave, I'm going to go jungle soon, and then somebody else can go take bottom lane. Probably Rubik from GH will go here to get some much needed levels. He's currently sitting on level 3, and you don't want him draining too much XP from mind control, because he's already going to be struggling up here to get the experience that he wants.
Good. I think Moon's hoping the Raging Potato stops taking damage. Good sentry ward now from Kuro, so he can get rid of that obs quickly. That's where Mineski's had they had a full duration ward there before. This time around, they won't let it happen. Paralyzing Cast still going to hit, but then it doesn't mean the arrow from Reggie Potato will connect. A Spirit Siphon from Moon will do some work with the Crypt Swarm. They're just making sure the guard falls down. And then Weeha falls. Mineski really trying to stay on top of him, and this is what they've been looking for. Exorcism up, push towards the tower on the catapult wave.
Exactly. It's very, very textbook and very nice play. Arguably, Weeha should have maybe been a bit more ready for this. There's 2 supports missing. There's, you know, the siege wave is coming. So either Weeha needs to play more defensively, or he needs to have supports there. Rubik could have easily saved him in this instance by being nearby, but they've got kind of troubles a little bit everywhere. So
Raging Potato's also taking a hell of a lot of damage thanks to the Fatal Bonds. Like, GH is going to find him, a leap. Well, that doesn't put him up on the hillside. Fade Bolt has to actually burn any kind of consumables, and is there another leap? There's a TP away to safety, and Kuro, the damage output, it won't be enough.
nice bottle usage.
Woo.
Close.
Very close.
Yeah. They do defend their mid tower though, Liquid. They allocate a lot of resources for it, but it is the right choice. You don't want to lose this mid tower to DP's first siege creep wave, so they hold it. It took half the HP and damage, but now Exorcism is over, and they can kind of reset and calm down a little bit. Ember got level 6, so it's a much harder gank, and as expected, Terrorblade is now in the jungle, and somebody's got to go bottom. I don't think you just leave this lane completely empty right now. There's too much experience just flat out going to waste.
KP feels no pressure. He's just going hand of Midas first as well.
Oh, GH doesn't have TP. Oh, they're going to send the Warlock down there to save.
Is that enough? Like, KP will be happy to dive that. Arrow's going to fly forward. Ninja Boogie's going to move around the back. They don't have a creep wave. That's the only thing that's holding him back.
I like the Midas idea from KP here. It's pretty common on core Ogre to go for it. If you're having a good game and you go Midas, it just amplifies you so much. With the multicast Midas, you can start getting these aura items at really good timings. And usually when you see other heroes with their like payoff timings, when it gets graphed out how long it takes to get the payoff on Midas, Ogre just gets it, you know, 75% faster.
They're after Kuro again. Malik is able to connect. Now be a very dead Kuro, even with the Shadow Word. The leap forward from Reggie Potato. Maybe actually with stick charges,
think he's
Kuro
fine.
can survive through this.
He's fine.
Potato wants to stay on the back of it. Kuro, leap forward, Starfall. He's trying to just juke him out. Now with the Stampede, Kuro is able to do it. GH will arrive to help with Weeha to find the kill on Reggie Potato, who really wanted that.
Nico's now getting pressured by the Terrorblade. Oh, they've got DP. They know there's no Stampede.
And
Let's use
Control
bottom.
wants to TP out. Oh, just not enough damage.
Yikes.
Like, even with the Infest bomb.
That was close. Yeah, he got out. Good call from Mind Control to TP instantly, identifying the... That was the only way he was going to have any chance of surviving that. And he gets out. But even though it's not a kill, still forcing a hero out like this has value. Like, a lot of the times when we talk about this stuff, we're like, okay, he survived, they got nothing out of it. But,
Yeah.
no, sending a core all the way back to base, now he has TP on cooldown for a minute, has to run all the way back up. This still does a lot. See, now that they managed to pull off this play, Ninja Boogie gets wards out. He got scanned out, however, so...
He's trying to do the D1 for everything.
best.
Everything will end up dying as Weeha's in the back line, so Ninja Boogie will go down. But Metamorphosis burned from Miracle. They need to add some tower pressure on the back of this, but look at KP diving under Kuro. No multicast for him, and maybe he's in trouble with Weeha arriving, and KP's trapped in by the Radiant Creep Wave. A quick ignite, a third TP is now coming in, or a second TP for a third hero. KP still looking to bounce out this. He'll get the multicast over on the Ember, but GH and Kuro working together. Pick him up, throw him down. There's nothing that Moon can really do. He's going to trigger the Exorcism, and now look towards Weeha with the silence. Okay, maybe he can just kill him straight out. The arrow would have flied forward to kill him off anyway. But now DP will do some damage to the tier 1 tower. All this battle happening normally when you're battling over the 10-minute bounty runes. The
Yeah.
Kuro in the trees.
The ruins aren't even picked up out here yet. They're
TP.
chasing Kuro.
Raging Potato doesn't have a doesn't have a stun available. The arrow's on cooldown.
They're using so much time on this exorcism too. It's actually going to run out before they get to the tower again. That could have absolutely been better for Mineski. He might still end up getting the tower anyway. There's another siege creep coming in now, and looks like Liquid don't defend, so...
Yep. They're too busy up on the top lane taking, like obviously the tier 1 tower's gone down there. They wanted some harassment in towards mid, but KP's there. But this all seems to be just be buying more time. Oh, Mind Control. Hoping for the denial on the tower, won't happen.
gonna have to
Arrow's
stampede
already
here.
been used by Ragey Potato, so they don't have the extra stun.
He's not going to have to stampede yet.
So both minuses are coming out in the courier at the moment.
Weeha went in for the Mirana bottom. He might get him here. He used the first leap. Missed the chase.
So 2 minuses at 11 minutes for Mineski.
And a 4k gold lead. They're really far ahead in this game right now. And Liquid has been in this position countless times with Terrorblade, and they managed to pull out a win playing around Miracle's first strong timing generally, getting Manta style or sneaking a Roshan as Radiant or whatever it would be. But Liquid's support duo here does not have too much to work with right now. There's not this like amazing steal for Rubik where you're just like, okay, when he gets this spell, they're just going to find kills non-stop.
Yeah.
Warlock is very much a team fight support, not a skirmish support. So unless they can group up and come together, Kuro is in this awkward position in the game where he doesn't feel too impactful. Whereas you look at the supports on the other side, you have a hero with Maledict and Witch Doctor who wants to gank. You have the Mirana arrows that we've seen already have some success. And any pairings of heroes that put together that pose a threat. And that makes a big difference in this game because it means when heroes are missing from the two teams, there's a very big difference in how threatened cores are on the map. The Mineski heroes feel relatively free. You see Ogre's just playing in the middle of the map, standing in the river, the Death Prophet's pushing far down bottom, and at the same time Lifesteal is farming top because they feel like, well, how are they going to kill us, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to gank these heroes for Liquid with the support duo they have. Now Mind Control is probably going to be in some trouble again.
Yeah, they need to hit the arrow though, or else they don't kill Mind Control.
They do.
And Ragey Potato is trying to look for the angle, but Mind Control is always on the southern side of the creep wave. So it's never an easy straight hit for him. But they're just taking over the Liquid jungle. Like, they're forcing Miracle to always be up on this top lane, always in range
Moonlight
of
Shadow.
Nico, so Moonlight Shadow will let them close the distance. But you still need to hit the arrow, Mind Control feels it.
I think he saw the Ogre get Moonlit in the mid lane. Arrow. Oh, he arrowed a creep. All right. I just heard the sound. I was like, okay, here it comes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Just jumping around. Where?
Oh, if they get backstab mid here, this could be really dangerous.
Oh, the smoke instantly
fails.
breaks from Team Liquid. Sentry ward's being planted. Weeha, he's going to find his first target. Over towards the Mirana, leap away, gets a double leap. And the rocket really only hit over on Moon. 3 leaps used by Raging Potato, turns for the arrow, connects over on Weeha. Paralyzed concussion from Spooky helps set it up, but they really want to get both these kills. The Spirit Jump fortunately from required GH already got him with the Fade Ball. And Ninja Boogie will go down too. So 2 quick kills for Team Liquid, but both of them going into the supports.
Considering how scary that must have been for them with their vision when they popped the smoke and it instantly broke, I think you'll take that. That could have gone so bad if they didn't find the Mirana out there and open the fight that way.
It still feels rough though. Like you're running a Lifestealer who's already got Hand of Midas. He's working in towards the Radiant, so his team fight will be ready later on. But it's such an early Hand of Midas on a multicasting Ogre. Like the net worth of KP can just skyrocket so quickly, and this Exorcism allows Mineski to keep the pressure up. GH does steal it. It's not always the greatest thing to steal, however, because it means GH has to get pretty close. Oh, they'll back up. Harassment, force rotations, and then, yeah, move top.
I'm not sure they're completely giving up on this idea just yet. They might come back. Okay, now they're probably not coming back.
Actually, it's a smoke from Liquid. They want to come to try and fight up on top lane. They know the Obs was dewatered, but yeah, T1 tower, attempted denial of the tower, won't happen. Moon gets the masthead in. And GH, he wants Ragey Potato. They need to keep the control up, and with the excess of damage, they'll definitely kill him. While in mid lane, mind control a little bit too far forward. Looks like KP was able to get a bit of a chain stun off, working with Moon.
And that's a bigger kill. It's the core. Get the Centaur down, only losing a Mirana, and they also got the top tower. Now, GH really wants to get this tower with his Exorcism. There's no glyph available, so if they want to defend, Ogre has to play up aggressively here. He's kind of cautious about doing it, but they do get the tower.
Yep.
Bounty runs, 2 for 2 it looks like. Nico hasn't taken the other one yet. He feels like there's no way Liquid will go and contest it, and he's absolutely right about it, so he keeps his farm going. And probably Ogre will just waddle down here and take this in a moment. And KP is... he's going to have a 15-minute mech with the Midas arcane moves. This is what we talk about, this aura build. Probably going to see him buy the mech into maybe Crimson Guard against Terrorblade. Really good. Pipe also has its merits this game against all the magic damage of Ember, the Fatal Bonds, amplifying all of that magic damage. See what he's favoring right now. I think going straight Greaves is not the play. Although he could remove 1 Fatal Bond on himself with that, which is also nice.
Oh, they found mid. Weeha caught out. It's like Raging Potato was able to connect on the arrow.
Is that Crypt Swarm for...
Yeah, it's Crypt Swarm. Moonlight Shadow's already been triggered as well from Potato. Koro, Sentry Ward is down, so he sees both of them moving. Now KP in behind the tier 1 tower, just rotates over the arrow. Just well off target, but it won't matter. Nico's there too.
Oh, that was
They'll beat the crap out of this tier 1 tower. TP support is on the way, but the fortification, Liquid can keep the tower up. They'll hit the rock down. Where's the bond? It now comes out as well. Multicast, but Lifestealer dies so damn quickly. Moon and KP retreat back out as fast as they can. And Liquid bring everybody to the mid lane. 5 heroes.
Yep. They defend their tower though. It did cost them Golem and Metamorphosis for 1 kill, but it's still the right play. You don't drop this tower like this after losing your Rubik. The downside now though is that there's kind of a power play going the other way, right? Now that you don't have Golem or Metamorphosis, your lineup's actually relatively weak for a while. So yes, you defended your tower, but did you actually defend your tower? Or is it still gonna fall in the next minute is the question.
Yeah,
Top lane, Ninja Boogie's gonna... oh, perfect Manta!
He actually dodged it.
I thought he Manta dodged the Maledict. He didn't. He Manta dodged, I think, a cask.
I did not think Ninja Boogie was going to go for that.
Yeah, that was a bit
it's like back
ambitious.
towards the mid where you see Ogre running underneath the T1 town, but on bottom lane, you also have to into the arrow. Moon using it aggressively in Ember Spirit. No way to get out of it. Now in towards the mid, Ogre Magi, KP, trapped up with the upheaval. Outrunning this will be difficult, but that's why you see how tanky the Ogre is. A multicast can't get one over on mind control. He just can't move fast enough.
Use your Midas, no!
Efficiency rating dropping heavily.
And it's actually a kind of big deal. He's dead for 40 seconds and he had Midas ready, and that could have multicast there with a triple multicast. There were 3 creeps. He might have just lost 500 gold. That's kind of what they got for killing him. I mean, okay, not 500, because he will have it ready when he spawns, but you get the idea.
Yeah. It's a big deal, Sins.
It actually is a kind of big deal.
Yeah.
When we talk about Midas being on off cooldown when you're dead and we're like, oh, that's bad. For Ogre, it's worse.
Here's Yules into Arrow again. Mind control. It's a little too late. Ninja Boogie's going to fall once again. Unseen from the camera as Weeha caught him out.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling the Witch Doctor this game right now. The two supports of Mineski are clearly starting to fall behind the Liquid supports, and they might also fall behind them in relative impact later when it starts getting into this team fight stage. Warlock is one of these really good supports, and Rubik, we've seen GH pull off some magic. In this game, there's a couple of steals that are great, some are not so good.
Oh, Rage Potato, he just drops the ward. That's going to get deported. He needs to leap. He's got one more available. And he leaps down away from the tier 1 tower. Smokes himself up as well as far into the tower as he can go, but mind control, blink, Hawk stomps down, and Mirana is definitely dead.
That's a big waste. Smokes are a valuable resource. You don't use that. Even if you survive there, I think that's not worth it. I mean, they have another 2 on Witch Doctor, I suppose, but...
And you do have Moonlight Shadow, but the amount of sentry wards that have been placed down by Team Liquid, like, they're trying to see absolutely every movement.
Arguably Moonlight would have been a better play. It's a shorter cooldown than Smoke, and it would have forced the enemy's economy a little bit, right? To force them to use a sentry ward.
They're still going to burn another smoke. Mineski are coming over the river now.
Yep.
They're looking for their target.
Moon is really strong, his BKB.
Goro's going to TP out. No, he doesn't. They didn't actually notice that Observer wasn't ensuring the last fight. So Death Ward down from Ninja Boogie. This with his quick kill over on Kuro. Moon's able to claim it.
Mid tower for Liquid is still standing. It's pretty impressive. It's 20 minutes now that Mineski have not been able to take this with their Death Prophet lineup. And you gotta imagine that they want to go and exorcism this with the next Siege Creep wave after they maybe fight for these top bounty runes. DP is super strong here, only really going to be dying to a Terrorblade Metamorphosis with BKB running. No other serious physical damage to be too worried about.
Ninja Boogie actually get a perfect paralyzing cast. They're looking for it. Ends up with the Maledicts over from the Ember Spirit. He'll quickly spirit away. Searing chains up with the Yule Scepter over on the Centaur. He'll hit the ground, and Nico open wounds up and mind control. Now Nico just rips all the life from him. This is not a fun game for Mike. Why do we always feel this happens whenever we cast mind controls? Like, you know what, there's just one hero that just tears him apart.
Yeah, he definitely... I mean, if you pick Centaur this early and there's a Lifestealer on the board that gets countered, you know, Centaur just has these matchups. It does. And, yeah, Mineski are taking full advantage of that. I think a little bit of a lucky thing there, or not a lucky thing, but Liquid probably aren't too dissatisfied because I think their Ember could have died. He could have been silenced instead of the Centaur, and they could have killed Ember on the rune, and maybe even got the rune too. But Moon chose to go for the Scent. There was a slightly bigger kill on the field for them.
They're coming again.
Next smoke.
It's like 3 smokes in 2 minutes,
Yeah.
one of them wasted.
Exactly. Now you would like to have that Mirana smoke for later.
Yep.
But they really want this mid tower.
GH, he has an Invis rune. He's right on top of him. Everyone revealed. TP support's coming in. GH gets to pick up over Ogre Mashai. Is he able to get that mech off in time? Paralyzing cast trying to fight clearing some space. KP, there's your multi counting out, trying to run himself away. Weeha in a little too deep and connected on the Maledict. So KP will finally be brought down by the Fate Bolt.
He stayed alive for so long.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Weeha. There's no follow-up for this. Moving into the high ground of Mineski is not something that Liquid feel confident enough to do just yet.
Super good game sense from GH. The reason he walks there with his Invis rune is that he feels there's a move coming from that direction. And the moment the smoke breaks, they instantly TP in, so you just know it's already called in advance that I think they're going here, and this is what we're going to do. So,
My God,
really good stuff.
Miracle's getting so huge. That's a Skadi coming in
crap,
over on the Courier. I see a 4-star recipe as well. And now they're going to have a crack over towards mid lane. Mind control. Caught out a little too far. Miracle's looking at him. Can't do much to help him though. As Moon, he's still in pretty deep. He's got his BKB and Yule Scepter. The rock will drop. And 3 heroes next. Ninja Boogie just evaporates. As the Spirit jump forward, there's your defensive Yule Scepter up from Moon. As he can't get anything really off. Spirit side, but no point burning the exit because he's already dead as Nico. Now he's trapped underneath the Skadi trying to kite it out. But Miracle, he's just too big. KP can't outrun this. Mineski just have no movement speed at all, and even Bloodlust stolen by GH. Let's buff up Miracle again.
That's the surprise factor of not knowing there's a Skadi in play. The DP gets caught out, tries to BKB to stay alive, but she's too slow to run away. If you know there's a Skadi there, you instantly have to just turn and fight. You BKB, you ulti, and you take the fight. But they were missing a hero as well in this instance.
They want to keep going. Miracle wants to keep pushing up towards the tier 3 tower. The jump in from behind the arrow, able to connect over on the Ember Spirit with the jump out of the Golem. Maybe they can get this quick kill over on the Weehan. They're able to do so. And Team Liquid's push will stop, but they do claim a tier 3 tower already.
Super good for them. Even with this Weeha casualty, they should be very happy with the outcome of these last 2 minutes.
So we can have a quick look at that mid-fight once again. Stance over on Mind Control.
See, so they're probably not clicking the Terrorblade right now. Moon should already realize he's getting Sky. I mean, you see the projectiles here. I think at this point, you either BKB and Ewell the Terror. I think you BKB, Ewell the Terrorblade and run away. That's got to be the play, right? The Golem has been used. There's no other slow or stun that pierces your BKB. It's the best play that you have. But it's just it's a hard decision to make in the moment because you don't want to waste everything. But I mean, he used it anyway, right? So easy to say from our perspective, but
Yeah.
probably misplayed that situation a bit.
And we're going to just laze back into armchair a little bit more. We had a nice little play as well during the real time. Denied on the mid-tier 1 tower by Miracle's Illusion. As Mineski was surrounding it. So a little bit less gold coming in from Mineski. They do still hold a slight advantage in the net worth, but it was a hell of a lot bigger before that fight and mid-push happened. And this is what we talked about, right? Miracle, you put your money on him. Liquid know how to play around this. And now you're even going to find a double damage rune. They're going in for Roshan.
Yeah, it's what I was saying, right? Like they have this understanding of timing with Terrorblade. I think when he got the Manta, they got a tower with it. When he got the Scotty, they got this mid fight, and they even got a tier 3 out of it. So now they're gonna have an Aegis.
Coming way too late from Mineski, and there's no way they could really 100% know that Miracle was up to this. Even defensive upheaval being channeled. And there's the Aegis Immortal into the Terrorblade. This butterfly is gonna arrive so quickly too. I need non-stop multicasting. That's it. Any kind of full control. Weeha's gonna be the first setup with a follow-up arrow. He's just totally alone here in the mid lane.
Weeha's dying too much, man. Like
Now they TP up towards the top. Moon wants to keep the fight going. KP needs a following stun. Kuro's the closest. You'll step the up. They'll drop him down. The rune already grabbed as, well, Warlock tries to keep the run going. He can't do anything. Can't drop the rock because he's already been silenced up. Now Ninja Pookie hits his own paralyzing cast. Raging Potato does not have the stun available, but with the Maledict and the Death Ward, GH, Raging Potato just needs to hit the Starfall, and GH will tick counter the Maledict. Nothing will save him. 3 heroes from Liquid, just one after the other, falling like dominoes.
yeah. As I was saying, there's too many deaths in this Ember Spirit. He's playing a bit too recklessly and keeps getting caught out. This is his 7th death on Ember. Out of 14 kills for the Dire, half of them are on the mid hero on Liquid. That's very rare to see, and just not Weeha's best performance this game. It's
And now they're going to beat through the towers. KP can Bloodlust up the catapults, get any kind of extra quick push.
the upside to all these deaths on Ember is that Terrorblade is not the one dying.
Yeah.
So there's infinite space for Miracle in this game, which Liquid loves to play around, but it is possible to accomplish something similar with less deaths on Ember. I'm not saying he needs to play deathless this game. I think it's hard. You're playing against Moonlight Shadow and a lot of stuns, but you can definitely, play a little bit more passively and try not to get caught this much.
I'm actually wondering too, like, how Mineski starts to do damage towards Miracle. Like, he's finished up the butterfly, he's going in for a BKB next, so you're gonna have a hard time hitting your physical damage already, but your magical damage is gonna mean almost nothing later on, including the stuns.
Yeah, there is a possible play that they start itemizing against Terrorblade defensively, and they kill his team. Like, they get armor auras, they get ghost scepters.
Just leave him and just kite out.
Yeah, you kind of try to kill his team, because I think going on the Terrorblade just all in is going to fail. There's too much counterplay. There's Stampede, there's a Golem. They're going to buy defensive items too. You reckon there's going to be a Force Staff. Actually, Warlock almost has one. So yeah, they're going to have a Force Staff too. So fighting around and hitting the other heroes instead is probably better. Because Terrorblade is one of those heroes where if you commit and it doesn't work, it's even worse than if you didn't go. Because then he's going to sunder you as well and deal extra damage in the fight. So you got to be really careful how you approach
Very
that.
uncertain about this from Mineski. They don't have Death Prophet with them. Like, they have to defend from inside the base. DP's going to TP back now. Mirana's going to Moonlight Shadow, but Observer and Sentry is already planted. Ragey Potato comes in range. They do see him through the rear. Flies out the arrow. Miracle being caught out. Man, he's just so far forward. They'll push him and crack him down. They only burn the Aegis Immortal. Big abilities being used.
Might stop the push though.
It may.
It's good. It's still good. They take the Aegis, they stop the push. There was 2 minutes left on this Aegis, so Liquid might have been able to use it for a high ground attempt. Ideally, you would have loved to maybe find another core hero here and maybe get a good team fight out of it, but this is still a good result. Repels the push, it buys them time. And yeah, I'm curious to see where they go with this. Usually you would see DP go for Aghanims after the Yule Scepter or BKB, but he's not even going for the Ags at this point. He's going to go for the Shiva. Really, really defensive item build against this Terrorblade. And don't blame him for it. It's just lately DP Ags has been very favored by many players. But in this game he values this armor a lot more. Speaking of armor, Mirana with the Lotus Orb as well. Can remove a Fatal Bonds on one of his allies, can remove the chains.
Can mess with Terrorblade.
And gets armor for himself, can mess with Sunder, very true.
That for me is going to be like one of the biggest things from Team Liquid, because that's what allows them just to overwhelm the
Kuro,
fight.
Kuro's in a ward.
Yule Scepter up into the arrow. Weehaw wants to try and help him out, but there's a quick silence available too. Kuro will end up dropping. So Rage Potato can leap himself away. Centaur, yeah, Stampede. One way to get away from the open woundsing lifestealer, but here comes Rage Potato on mind control. He is just in the middle of nowhere. GH, maybe he can help. Gives him a force. Arrow flies forward and mind control runs east.
Force that flat out saved him. He was dead for sure. He's gonna go.
Oh, he may still be dead.
Don't tell me this is happening.
No.
Dude,
The arrow is off target.
Whew, that is okay. I mean, sometimes you go for it, right?
Yeah. Taking out a full creep wave.
It worked.
Worth the threat. These illusions, Ninjabuki can't even stand here. Funny, he'll get rid of the obs and the sentry that was planted down before. But this is all Miracle needs to do. Like, he's just staying up inside the northern jungle. He's even underneath an observer and sentry of Mineski, and like, how do you go on him? If everyone else is far enough away, then maybe you can do it. Moonlight Shadow, you run further forward, paralyzing cast. Now the illusion will work against him. They'll bounce back down with the Paladin. That's how you go on him. He's done this with the Lotus Orb. It actually stopped Miracle from getting the life. That's what we're talking about. Mind control. Upstop creates more space. Miracle's and almost no life. Moon just wants to finish the job, and they're going to be able to. Ninjabuki's Maldic pop as the BKB wears off.
Perfect. Perfect Lotus Orb. Super good.
Maybe they didn't see it. We saw it, because we see everything up here.
Even if he knows it's there, he has to go for the Sunder, right? He's dying, he has to turn, and the Lotus Orb gets cast mid-animation on the Sunder. I'm sure we'll get a replay on this, but
yep.
Really, really nicely done there.
Nice slow motion replay. As slow as we can make it.
That's the biggest kill of the game. Killing Terrorblade is the same as almost killing his entire team right now in relative value, right? Like, when this guy's down, Liquid have no hope of fighting, so you're going to lose this tower. They might even be able to go high ground because Exorcism is online. They have 30 seconds and a siege creep.
I'll give it a shot.
And they get a bonus kill here.
Here comes your arrow, Kuro. Full staffed up the hill once again. GH trying to help him out to pick up and a throw down. Kuro's still going to be spirit siphoned out.
He's just flat out of position there. There's no reason for him to stand behind this tower. He can't do anything and defend anyway. And now they feel even more inclined to go high ground because now there's 2 dead heroes. And the mech gets used. They're all very healthy. Solar Crest completed on Ogre, makes the Lifestealer or the Siege Creep hit really fast here. He's going to use the Lifestealer.
Mind Control's trying to get some kind of like collateral up on top lane. TP's coming in from Boogie, now force him away. But the tier 3 tower's already been taken. Moon's still on the front lines. Kind of want to keep an eye on Mind Control because he's not done yet. That Retaliate's done so much damage, but the mid-rank is finally going to fall. BKB from Moon. There for defensive Miracle. Actually, radiant mid-melee racks. He took it out. Moon's health comes back, giving him the extra life. But yeah, he denies the mid-racks out. And man, that's Stampede forward. They're looking for somebody, but everyone's gone from Mineski.
Yep. That was a huge moment. That's one Terrorblade kill. That's what often will happen in these games where you have one big farmed hero. Yeah, we'll see it here.
This
So
that Sunder moment again.
Cask, he does get the BKB off in between these stuns and is hoping for it. And pay attention there. Right as the animation comes out, the Lotus gets placed. And Miracle, that Lotus Orb effectively did 2,000 damage. That's what it did. If he doesn't Lotus there, Miracle survives, 100%. And yeah, just clutch play and great itemization.
Watch
what
the
can you
dot
say?
time. It's on the very end as the BKB and the Maledict wears off.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fraction of a second, the
The
difference.
Crypt Swarm might have connected, but if it didn't, that actually mattered too. He almost got away despite everything that happened.
And one of those great plays of TI. Liquid. 5 heroes smoked up looking for their own initiation. Raging Potato's got Nimbiz. Rooney's going to break the smoke on GH as well as Kuro. And the information has been given.
DP has Exorcism again though, so this fight is actually not as easy as Liquid might be expecting if they haven't kept very close attention to the timing. Little Dragon Boy scouting. Not suspicious at all.
Hey, Kuro should know all about this. He
used to do it.
He's the man that abused the shit out of this.
Oh man, I was on the receiving end of that. That was lame.
It was great. You know, that was when like the Chen Ags came up, right? And you could start grabbing ancient creeps. And
No, it was when Lifestealer got Infest.
Yep.
I think Infest was... when was it Lifestealer got that skill? It wasn't Dota 2, right?
Yeah, it was in Dota 2. Like it was when he could start infesting ancients, though.
Yes.
That's when it started to
Yeah.
change. Like he could infest neutrals, but he could never do ancients.
Yeah, and then suddenly he could, and people would go Radiance and infest the dragon.
Yep. And you run
And
him as
just-
support. That was all.
Yeah, you just have this magic immune dragon flying around with Radiance on. Hard to deal with. The Fireball, of course.
Yeah. Actually, didn't they nerf the fireball? Like that was
I
how.
don't
That's how
think-
they tried to balance that.
I don't think the
first.
spell has ever been nerfed. It could be. I'm not sure. When you think about how a lot of things change in Dota, some of the things that have been changed the absolute least is the spell casting of neutrals. Like, the spells that they have, you know, they've been changed a bit once in a while, like the Harpy Lightning got nerfed a bit for Chen, or, you know, the aura of the Mana Troll got improved or whatnot, but over the course of, how many years have we had this game now? 9?
It's
There's been very few neutral creep changes relative to heroes and relative to, you know, even changes to Roshan.
That's actually always the deceiving thing. Like, just because we're at TI9 doesn't mean like it's been alive. It's actually 8 years of Dota.
True. 8, yes.
Yeah, that's of Dota
right.
2. Obviously,
Because,
we've had 15, 16 years of Dota.
Big item alert.
Yeah.
Terrorblade getting the MKB. Key item against Lifestealer. He has Evasion, Talent, and Radiance.
They just need a good opening. GH is going to start it off, blink him up, push him back down again. Mind control, baiting out the hooks on multiple times, but now Evan dead.
Oh
the
my God.
multi-cast! That's your proper ding-ding! Mind control, forced off him out, goes
Oh,
and finds
cast
some time,
bounce
but the
again.
cask actually follows him. I think he was going to die anyway, even if it didn't follow him the whole way, but my God, he has just been reminded of the lucky Dark Ogre.
Kind of cocky, he doesn't BKB that though. I don't know if he didn't have vision of the Ogre, but he flat out just took a risk if he did. If he knew that Ogre was there, I think you have to BKB if you want to commit for this play. I like the idea of lifting this Lifestealer into a potential Terrorblade fight, but it wasn't what happened. So this move just didn't make too much sense. And now they're going to probably get a Roshan.
They'll 100% get it. It's going to take way too long for Ember to come out. So this Roshan belongs to them.
You give the Aegis to Lifestealer and choose to DP. This is really big. Aegis on Lifestealer against Terrorblade is a massive advantage because you probably buy yourself time to get a secondary Rage with the Aegis, and the Death Prophet having Cheese can outlast Terrorblade and kill his illusions with the Shiva's Guard and with the Exorcism running. You can manage while in BKB.
You know, the funny thing is, for this whole fight, like, this Observer Ward, like, the movement that's been happening over the last, like, 3-4 minutes, has all been scouted out by Team Liquid with that ward. And Mineski put down 3 sentries, so they feel very comfortable that they weren't being watched.
Yeah,
And that still ended up happening the way it did.
but yeah, it's on Liquid to take better advantage of it.
Yeah.
If
Liquid
you have
are
this
gonna try and do
vision advantage,
something.
this is not how things should go.
They're wrapping around the east, coming up through the river.
No Exorcism. This fight could be really good for Liquid if Terrorblade gets to do whatever he wants, and right now it looks possible.
Spirit jump forward, looking for Ninja Boogie, trying to fist it out. Quick Moonlight Shadow, but we are with the BKB. They've already killed off the Witch Doctor. Buybacks are available. They're coming out towards the shrines as Moon keeps these supports under control with the Spirit Cypher. Nico's trying to do the best he can, but Miracle, he's the beast. He's the man to watch. Try and bring down Nico, able to do so through the Aegis Immortal, but Maldix, it's over on Terrorblade. Sun is available, but the Sun just keeps on going. Miracle, he'll steal the life. And Weeha, he's able to help to get the revenge kill out, but then you've still got more damage coming the way from Mineski. Terrorblade is finally brought down. They'll get rid of the Golem too. Buybacks were just available. GH is on the run. He'll begin his own TP out underneath the Dire Sentry. Well, does anyone get there in time? They don't, even with the TP back to the Tier 3 tower. But Miracle dead without buyback available. This is Mineski's time to go.
You know what's funny about this fight? The one fight that Miracle sunders Weeha is the one who survives. Like, dude, you're gonna die anyway, so I'm just gonna sunder you and take your health away so that he doesn't die. No, it's just, yeah. It just flat out has not really been Weeha's game. There's been multiple deaths. That engage, though, was pretty good. I think the idea was good. I think the execution was all right.
You can have a look at it again.
They're just unfavored to a quite large extent here. So we see this jump in from Weeha. He gets the BKB off instantly and gets the kill. They try to snowball off of it, but they're a little bit short on damage because they're fighting 2 or 3 different fights. You see 2 heroes get zoned off by the DP. Terrorblade can't really bring down the Ogre. He gets the lifesteal, but he's the Aegis. And when the BKB of Terrorblade expires, it starts getting really easy. The Sunder here, it's a good Sunder. I feel like if he tried to turn around for Ogre got Lotus, right? Or was it? Yeah, he got Lotus, so that wouldn't have worked. Back in real time, though.
Yeah, we're
High ground time.
pushing into the tier 3. Moon will burn up the Exorcism. Remember, they've still got the cheese that's over on the Lifestealer now. They got passed off Moon. As Hoof Stomp from Mind Control comes in, but then Lotus Orb, stun yourself back, KP. The tier 3 tower is just being ripped apart. Man, rooted forever, Nico.
Stolen Maledict.
Oh god.
I'm not sure he realized.
DP needs to use. He needs a BKB. He needs to do something right now. Moon, he'll turn in silence. That'll do something. Mind Control still running away from all the ghouls. He'll be able to survive through this. As Nico munches on the cheese, turns back into Weeha. Miracle, he's got Sunder, putting Nico back nothing. Spirit jumps forward. No, he put 2 down, but it's all too late in Mind Control. He misses the stun. The concoction, it was still there. He actually got hit by the bouncing coconut. As Weeha, the Crypt Swarm and the Spirit Siphon kills him off. Buyback is available for him, but not for Mind Control. Mineski will want to claim their second lane of frags. They can't go for more, however. The Stolen Maledict once again over on Moon. A KP, the never-ending multicast into Kuro, and the Hex on Terrorblade. They can't fall for the stun into the back lines. It's Weeha trying to cause some problems, but then another multicast stun. 3 in a row. Weeha will go down. Terrorblade set up towards the air. The perfect arrow. Thunder is available. He'll need to trigger it right now. Force Staff can't buy any kind of time or space. That may just be the game right there. Dead for 80 seconds. They'll go for the tier 4 towers. And Mineski, they have pushed Liquid down and down. They're faced up against Miracle's Terrorblade. And they've come out with a huge smile on their face. Maybe a little bit too overconfident as Friendship Taylor's going to come under the fountain, but it won't matter. This game's Mineski's. GG.
That went sour real quick. So, Mineski, this is kind of... In a way, it's kind of similar to, not fully similar, but the game we had with Keen versus Mineski yesterday, where Keen destroyed them in lanes, then Mineski kind of came back, and then Keen cleaned it out. It felt like the same game, but just with the side swap, that Mineski had a huge advantage out of the laning stage. They dropped the ball a little bit, Terrorblade gets a game, and then one big fight, and everything is just back on track.
It feels like one big item is when that Lotus Orb arrived.
The Lotus play was the game-winning play.
Like, it just arrives, and then it's like, well, what do I do as a Terrorblade? And that's why it's like, bro, I just have to go for Wii. I gotta go for my other core and take his life, because I at least know he won't be Lotus Orbed.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one upside.
The other way of, I mean, you should also consider the way this whole fight breaks out, where they get the huge Lotus play. What starts it all is that Miracle's a bit out of position. Like, his teammates weren't really close enough by. He was farming aggressively in the enemy jungle, and they took the advantage of the situation and got a jump out of it. If you're a little bit, like, when Liquid play their best, these situations don't happen.
Yeah.
Like, the team is nearby, or they're a little bit more coordinated with vision, or just overall map movements.
Yeah, like you have something.
You got to clean this up.
You have something like a Warlock, right? Like, everything is normally meant to be together. His Rock is up, his Fatal Bonds is there. You live in a world of fear, but we never had the damage output. He was going for a Veil build up too. Like, it's like everything was taking a little bit too long. I think he was caught out of position like 3 times in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
It was just like Ogre came in, hit the stun, or you got the Yule Scepter into arrow. Like, Mineski just had so many different things in their arsenal that they could just use. And the funny thing is, like, I was waiting for GH to actually become a big hero. Like, he had his 4-stars were trying to save Centaur. He had a good game, but it's like he spent most of his time trying to keep Mind Control alive or chasing after like the problems that were around Weeha, and they were never able to be the instigators. It was always Mineski who was setting the tempo, which is dangerous for them. That's how Keen beat them, right? Like, Keen set the tempo. Team Liquid need to find a way to do that as well. Game 2 come up in just a bit, and we'll see if Liquid can find an answer. back, everybody. And once again, it's an enlightening situation here in game 2.
Just stare straight into the light. Okay, that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah,
actually.
that's a
Let's not
really
do that.
bad idea.
Not a good
I
idea.
mean, like I'm already missing enough kills as it is. Like you won't put like,
You
like
did good.
spots in my eyes.
Actually, you didn't do so well. Now that I think about it.
It's like a great parent going to teacher's day. It's like, you know what, son, you did absolutely fantastic. Oh, those grades. You did
no.
terrible.
Actually,
Absolutely
no.
terrible.
No, it was not that bad. Missed a couple. It happens.
Yeah.
I've tried doing camera work. I'm way worse. So
You know, I actually
I'm
I haven't done camera work in like, it's definitely been over a year.
yeah. Well, that explains something.
Yeah. It's like just getting too used to people like JJ just perfectly doing
Speaking
everything
of camera
for me.
work,
Yeah.
get us off camera. Woohoo!
That's called.
Let's look at Dota. That's what you guys want to see
segue.
anyway. You want to see
Segue.
us. You don't want to. The other way around. You don't want to see us. You want to see the game.
Yeah. Let's watch the game.
Maybe you
No
wanna see us a
Enchantress,
little
no Chen, no Io, no Ogre. Ogre.
So Shadow Demon will be the pickup for Mineski instead, with the Ogre banned out from last game, as well as the Mirana. So Liquid banning 2 of the heroes Mineski played last game, and Mineski, I think, sticking to the exact same bans, I want to say, as the previous one.
Yeah, I
Wasn't it
believe
the
so.
exact same ones?
No, I think it's like a change up in the order. Meepo was the 3rd ban.
Okay.
They did. So that was the only thing, but it's the same bans.
10
Yeah.
seconds.
But starting with the SD, this time around also when you don't have the Mirana pickup,
5
Liquid actually decided to take that out in the first phase.
I think they would have first picked Mirana if it was in, probably. Are they going to pick their Zeus now?
To AT. So GH had a pretty damn good. I feel like GH has had a pretty good game every time Liquid have played.
Yeah.
The problem is like just the rest of the team doesn't seem to be on like the same timing or the same position as him. But yeah, anyway, Beastmaster up very early on. This seems to just be a habit right now. Like Mind Control just gets picked early on and says, you know, just do the best you possibly can with what you've got.
Yeah,
Because
I wonder if
that won't
this
be a
is-
Koro Beast.
I think if what Liquid want to do is to pick Mind Control's hero as early as they are, I think they need to pick something that's as little exploitable as possible. Like the problem with the Centaur last game is that it has some inherently bad lane matchups, and the hero kind of, you know, wants to have a good time. It doesn't do so much with a bad time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like every hero in Dota Sin, but you know what I mean. Whereas a hero like Beastmaster, it's similar in a way that there's a couple. I think his matchups compared to Centaur are there's no like ass awful matchups that Centaur has in some cases, maybe except Timbersaw, but he also is more okay with staying afloat in the lane with somebody and then going to do something than Centaur is with getting shut down. Like it feels like a Beastmaster with a suboptimal game will often do more than a Centaur with a suboptimal game. And if they do want to pick Mind Control's hero this early, I think this is a good approach. I feel like they should maybe just go for his Nature's Prophet, you know, like give it another spin. It's a strong laner. They can play all of GH's supports with it in the lane, and then they can go from there. And even if Nature's Prophet gets counterpicked in lane, you feel like Mind Control is going to get stuff, and he's going to be able to do something. Snipe the courier. He can go make ganks in other lanes when he's struggling.
Yeah.
And they
I can
like
start
that.
adding pressure towards towers. I can change. I can change the mid lane for Weir. Maybe that's something else. 'Cause we were talking about this in the break. It's like where Weeha just seems to be having a terrible time.
Last game was absolutely not good.
Yeah,
Let's say it like that.
it's like either getting caught out of position, or if he just needs a little bit more help, like he's too far away from the rest of his team.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a different mindset to start having. Is like, okay, so how can we actually play around the cause? Because Miracle sitting in the safe lane, like it feels like other teams when they play that one role, it's like we can just leave them and they're going to catch up, or they're going to do their own thing. Like we don't need to babysit him. Bakura couldn't leave Miracle for the first 4 or 5 minutes of the last game, and by then Weeha had been trashed in mid. So maybe that's a different way of looking at it too for Team Liquid going ahead.
Something Liquid haven't done either compared to many other teams we've cast, and that Liquid have lost games to so far consistently is saves.
Yeah.
They don't pick saves.
Yeah, you got to press the attack, you got Shadow Demon Disruption, and that's just in the first 2 from Mineski.
Yeah, and the last game there was like arguably maybe not a hard save, but there's like, you know, the Moonlight Shadow that can help a little bit, and
Actually, wasn't that what that's what Keen ran against Mineski yesterday? They had both the the SD and the OD
yes,
in the
I think
same
so.
team against them.
Or no, that was against the newbie against Liquid had SD, OD, and Legion. So Liquid have lost to this kind of thing already. And I mean, Mineski's last game, let's think again. What was it? They didn't really have saves either. So let's be fair. They had their support duo was Mirana and Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
But what they did have was they had 3 really hard-to-kill cores. They had a Death Prophet, they had a Life Stealer,
And an ogre.
and an Ogre. So if you don't have saves, well, at least have tanky cores that are not easy to kill. But, you know, you need to... There's like this balance right now where I think if Liquid want to play these, like, maybe slightly more susceptible cores, or maybe don't play, like, super tight, it's also a really good way of incentivizing your team to group up. Like, when you have the saves, you know, like, this is your goal in the game. You're protecting somebody. You're playing around that guy. Easy way to bring your team and give them time to connect. And they're going to grab the Shadow Shaman, so taking very much of a teamfight push approach here with Shaman Wards, Beastmaster Aura. They have the Elder Titan for the big teamfight. And they have some more catch. But again, they're playing Shaman against 2 saves. So his disables, how good are they going to be? We'll have to wait and see what they do here.
Yeah, it kind of has to turn into like it then has to be like what, a 5-position shaman, because GH will take the ET towards the off lane.
Ooh, I don't like 5 Shaman very much.
Yeah, and I bet
Sometimes, well, at least not with the information he has.
yeah, like there's been some things in the past where like Kuro has played the ET, but I don't know. Like, so far we've seen GH play it, so more than likely that's going to be the same thing again. A Lich pickup from Mineski, so it actually feels like now you got a reduction. You got a very scary lane presencer as well.
Yep.
Another disable where you can bring him in with a Sinessa Gaze.
Yeah. I think it's fine. Like, having physical resistance against Beastmaster, Shaman, and Elder Titan makes sense. There's a lot of physical damage coming out from Serpents. There's a lot of physical damage coming out inherently from whatever Liquid want to pick with Beastmaster will want to use the Aura for attack speed.
Yeah.
So
they are
it's
lacking
fine.
in straight up stuns from Mineski, but you still get the control factors you need from the SD and
They
the
have 2
Lich.
more picks. I'm sure they're going to pick some sort of secondary catch to the Legion.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they don't get anything else.
This is like when you see Moon get his nice big heavy stunner in mid, like where he's always run like the tinies in mid. I don't know if that'll be the perfect choice in this game because you need something with a little bit more sustained damage
Does
against
Moon
the
play
ET.
Mars?
I do not know.
Mars Lich is pretty sexy, actually. If you hit a 2-hero arena, they can't get out, and the Chain Frost just kills them off.
His mid matchup would have to be really good for that, though.
Yeah, it's true. It depends. If Mars is one of those heroes, though, that can actually play in all 3 lanes. So I think you could lane swap if you needed to. Okay, this is more than likely a Miracle. Well, it could be a Weehaw.
It should be a Weelash.
Last time they played it, it was Miracle, but that was because they picked TA for Weehaw. And I think that will maybe get banned, or they just don't care because they have Ice Armor and the Shadow Demon against the TA. We'll see. But yeah, what I was going to get at with the Shadow Shaman from before is my experience with this hero is it makes such a huge difference for Shaman if he has 0 or 1 item. Like, there's some heroes in Dota where it's just, like, game-changing completely. When this guy gets 1 or 2 items, it's a totally different hero. And playing 5 Shaman, generally, the strength of the hero is outnumbering people. If you're 3-on-2 in lane, you're really strong. If you're 2-on-1 in lane, you're insanely strong. But in 2v2, 3v3, you struggle to use Shackle because you can get cancelled generally, or you could get killed. And in tri-lanes, Shaman often doesn't get the levels and the gold that he needs. So my concern is if they put this hero on Kuro, are they actually playing to the hero's strengths?
Actually, when you think about it, for every hero in Liquid's lineup, like how long does it take to get the money, the experience up and running?
It's a bit slow.
Yeah.
I think the better choice in this game is to get Kuro on the Elder, honestly. I don't think you play a 5 Shaman against these heroes. You're going to feel very unimpactful.
Man, I don't even know if that's even going to be better. Like, putting Mind Control on the ET may feel better, and putting Beastmaster into support at this rate. Like, it all just feels, as you said, like way too slow. Like even if you do grab the TA, now TA's got even more troubles against a Death Prophet. She would have been that faster mid that you could run.
Let's see. If they do place the Leshrac in a side lane with Shaman, it makes Shaman better, because it's a pretty strong core in the lane, so you get that assistance there. But with this DP now picked up, we talked about how Mineski are a little bit low on lockdown. Silence is kind of a pseudo-lockdown, especially against some of these heroes. It's really good against Shaman. It's pretty good against the Leshrac. And against Elder Titan, if you catch him mid-stomp with a Silence, that can be great. But usually that's not really the case because he's really far behind the fight. But we might see it once or twice. And more than anything, it's just comfort, right? They have a DP with 2 saves and Ice Armor. That's a hard kill. Or Frost Shield. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm
How
wondering
times
now,
have changed.
I'm wondering now, like with Liquid, like what's their last pick up here? Like you ban out the Faceless Void. Who's the hero you're worried either getting locked down, or having distance closed on. Like my mind goes towards Slark, considering he's not in the ban pool just yet.
Slark is not that good against Legion Commander. She wants to buy Blade Mail, and the duel you can't Dark Pact it. So generally Legion likes this matchup because of the lane too. Super fine. Arc Warden banned out. They're gonna grab this Sven. This Mineski lineup. There's their stun. There's an extra stun. There's the Warcry. There's the really strong team fight.
They
the
look
5
so
man.
hard to kill.
This lineup looks very nice, just in isolation. It's something I've talked about before, that when it comes to Dota, there's like sometimes teams get too caught up in counterpicking and forget their own synergy, and sometimes it's the other way around, that they only build lineups for themselves and then the enemy team just counters you hard. So you need to find this like balance where you do both. But sometimes you just look in a lineup with itself and you're like, this lineup just makes sense with itself, like what it's trying to do, what things it has to bring to the game. And I look at this Mineski lineup and I just feel that.
Yep.
It looks nice.
But Liquid's like, you need like a Hallelujah pickup, like carry Ricky, Weaver, anything that is just able to dodge everything Mineski throw.
I think Carry Ricky would make me very Mineski favorite. I would not recommend this here. But yeah, I mean, Liquid has its own strengths too. You know, there's definitely some clear synergy in terms of grouping up and pushing, but the problem is the lineup they're playing against counters that type of fight. They will fall back. They had no better idea. And here's the problem, right? When you have Leshrac, Shadow Shaman, and Beastmaster, you want to group up and take towers, right? With Edict, you want to play with the Shadow Shaman wards and with the Roar and the Aura. But you're not favored in the team fight, I think, right now. If you get caught in any way, it's difficult. And if you're the one initiating the fight, you're playing into 2 saves. So I don't think it's that easy, and I'm just not a big fan of this 5 Shaman. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, did Sven steal Mars's helmet?
Yes.
Like,
it's actually an old helmet, this one.
it looks really old. Like, it actually looks like it's like got no detailing on it at all.
It's a phalanx helm, right? Isn't that what the type of helms, like when you depict phalanxes, isn't that what it looks like? Am I just imagining things here? Maybe it's called something with phalanx. That's what makes me look really smart. If it's called that in the game.
Yeah, you can seem very smart, but I do not know the exact terms.
You can seem very smart.
I'm not going to try and
Okay.
BS.
We all know it's just a ruse.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Weeha on TA has been a stable that's been working very well for Liquid, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
I personally don't think this is that good of a TA game. I don't think the Death Prophet matchup is very great. I don't think the Sven matchup is necessarily that good. It goes both ways. Like, Sven can't really hit you into Refraction, but at the same time he has Warcry for your team, so you just get that physical block in the movement speed to try to outrun and kite the traps and stuff. And you're playing into Frost Shield. So, a couple downsides.
It feels very much like the Game 1 debate that we had. It's like, Team Liquid's just picking up comfort. Like, this is what we're used to playing. This is what we're going to play. Like, we don't adapt. We're not scary. Like, this is just our style, and if you can beat it, you can beat it.
Yeah.
Which is a very sad way to look at Team Liquid. Like, Liquid are meant to be, like, very diverse in the way they draft, in the way they play, in the way Kuro was always able to disguise in the draft too, but this seems very obvious from the first 2.
The thing you have to think about though is you're 2 and 5, you've tried different things and some of them haven't worked, some of the strategies you came in with, and you have to, every game matters a lot, so at some point you're like, okay, how much more can we be creative? We need some wins. And if this is their best strategy or something that they feel really confident with, it's worth pulling it out and try to get a win out of it. Now, what I was getting at was both lineups in isolation look good and I see where the game plan is going. But if one lineup inherently is good at playing the other team's game while having synergy with itself, it looks good. And that's not to say that Liquid are super unfavored in this game. It's just my feeling, also based on how Game 1 went, is that this looks like a possibly good game for Mineski. And a lot of it's going to come down to, can Liquid, this time around, get Weeha rolling. A TA that suffers is a really weak hero. So this time they need to make sure he gets a better start. Aggressive movement coming out from Mineski to the bottom rune. Looks like they will be getting those 2 runes, and then Nico will probably just hide up here.
Follow the sound of the drums, Mineski. So many audio tones.
Nico's helm is called Phalanx's Helm of the Phalanx, by the way.
Really? It just in case we
Phalanx's Helm of the Phalanx of Phalanxness. I misread it the first time.
Let me actually just we'll get it nice and close for you. That's not what it's called.
Close enough.
I'm definitely I'm sensing lies, Cinder, and I trusted you. I trusted you.
If you trusted me when I said Phalanx's Helm of the Phalanx, you have like no trust in item creators to have any sort of creativity with their naming, I
You
think.
are a true friend.
Was it? Alright, wait.
Although it would have been kind of cool if it was called Phalanx's Helm of the Phalanx of Phalanxness. And they got into the game and Valve were like, we'll take it, it's fine. Sure, you don't need to rename this item, that's a great name.
What was the? I remember we had like stupid name changes because it was too simple, right? Like I don't think it was like Spirit Breaker, like Charge, Bash. It was
Oh, Slardar's original spell names were...
Slardars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Amplify Damage,
Sprint.
Sprint.
Bash.
It's like, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
All right, so let's get our bearings of the lane. So we have versus Moon in mid. It gives us our dual lane on bottom, Raging Potato and KP together, SD as well as Legion together, and Korra and Miracle having to battle against the Shadow Poison. Miracle's already losing so much life, but that's why they're getting stick charges up nice and early on. And that leaves our top lane, once I feel like we're okay to move away. Yeah, we are. Ninja Boogie up here on the top lane with Nico against Mind Control's Beastmaster and GH's ET.
So good news here for Liquid is I think their laning stage will be better than last game. The Shadow Shaman did end up laning with Leshrac, which we talked about as a possibility. That is really good for them because Leshrac compensates for Shaman's slight weaknesses. Unless Koro is going to get himself killed here.
Have to restart the poisons.
Okay. And also, Mind Control's matchup, this Beastmaster against Sven, is not as bad, I would say, as Lifestealer against Centaur. And they're even getting to pull the wave with the Elder Titan for him as well. Weeha's matchup, it's probably better too than last game, I would say, overall. But so far he seems to be struggling a little bit against Moon in the very early stage.
Oh, Kuro. Yeah, it looks like this may actually be First Blood. Another poison with mango consumption, up to 5, and there it is. Raging Potato finds the kill with the pop. He's just been going ham at Kuro.
So what Kuro is doing is he's spacing for the Lesh, but I'm not sure it's the way to go about this. I think they're really strong together, but when they split up, Shaman gets exposed, right? It's what I've been talking about with like this hero as a numbers hero in lane almost. Where outnumbering or at least matching is really good. He's this soloing around.
This is really good body blocking from Mind Control. It's buying GH so much time just to throw the phone book at Ninja Boogie while the buff was available, but now they can turn around. Another Storm Bolt, consume the Mango. GH is in a real world of hurt, but he's got the movement speed. So he'll get himself away and then turns the spear around the opposite direction, up towards Ninja Boogie, trying to help Mind Control find it. He can't do any more damage here.
This is Salvan Beast. He's going to be okay, but Elder Titan probably has to start considering either going back to base or going to tier 2. It's sticking around for now though, but GH is not really in fighting shape, so...
He's just zoning with the spirit more than anything else.
Wait, Lich is stacking for Elder Titan on the other team? That's very interesting.
Oh god, actually GH, he walked straight back in!
He wanted to die, I think.
Yeah, but not to the heroes.
I'm not sure. That was... Like, what else was the plan there? I don't know. I feel like if he want, at the same time though, he used a tango earlier. He could have died to the neutral camp, or he could have run and died to a tower or whatever. But yeah, he needed to come back here and have resources. To me, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that was on purpose, because GH generally doesn't do shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Without thinking about it. Good damage. All these stack creeps. See, this is the downside. Lich has made this big stack for Sven, but it's actually favoring Elder Titan currently, because he gets to run this Astral Spirit through it and be really strong. Especially when he hits level 3, I would imagine he might go for a 0-2-1 build just because of this stack and be super powerful. He's even going to stack this other camp for himself, so both of them. He is going to hit very, very hard. He failed one stack though.
There's still a hell of a lot of money to grab up later, and that's oh, goodbye Raging Potato on bottom lane. Normally he's been the one trying to kill off Kuro.
Alright, look at GH now.
Yeah, that's back up to GH. Alright.
He didn't get it through the big camp, I think. He missed a lot of potential damage. It didn't seem to run through the big camp like he wanted it to. So, okay, not too big of a threat after all.
Yeah. But yeah, Weeha killed off Moon in mid, so that's a nice...
That is huge.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the exact opposite of last game. Weeha was recovered nicely in the lane this time and got the kill, when last time it was Moon getting the kill on Wii with a little bit of help from Mirana. So that's the 1k gold difference that we're seeing right now. It's all about that mid lane mainly. Bounty rune time.
Oh, GH. God, he hit so hard with plus 101. Nico had no other choice but to throw out the stun. But this means that with the movement down, they're probably going to lose a lot of these bounty runes. While on bottom lane, KP keeps his own run going. A quick, overwhelming odds to give him the movement speed to get away from Miracle's Edict.
Yeah, look at just the gold distribution right now for Liquid's cores. They almost have the top 3 net worth minute 5. They've got to be feeling really good about the way their cores are doing this time around. And yeah, Weeha is, you know, he's doing his thing. He's a full level ahead in mid. He's flying out. I think that's Boots.
Boots and a null.
Maybe he could try another kill.
Actually, it's Miracle's null.
Yeah, if he had a null on TA,
GH is in trouble again, but then again, he does so much damage, he can help Mind Control get the revenge kill into Ninja Boogie. The army of neutrals comes out. Shackles on bottom lane. Raging Potato getting caught out. KP tries to break him free. But they press the attack, comes just a little too late. Miracle already hit him with the Split Earth.
much, much better for Liquid this time. And you gotta feel like in this game, maybe they can transition much better because of the DP struggling. A lot of the tempo in the last game was decided by that. Oh, KP bottom.
Yeah, you still have defensive disruption available, however, but he loses the time to move with movement speed from press the attack. 6-6 charge is also available. Dodges the Split Earth, bouncing around the side, but the last attack still comes in from Miracle. Another Shackle will come in as well as Weeha. Ragey Potato nowhere to run, gets hit by the Metal Strike, and Miracle claims the double kill. And Weeha quickly TPs back towards the mid, while up on top GH with his plus 108 damage, hitting into Ninja Boogie, hitting into Nico as hard as he possibly can. Just hits 2 heroes and gets plus 80.
I actually think the Legion Commander survives there. He disrupts the Leshrac instead. Disrupting the Legion kind of got him cornered, and it got himself killed in the end as well, because then he kind of stuck around and then Weeha came down and got a bonus, so bit of a mistake there from...
Now Moon, rotation from Kuro, hits the
Oh,
perfect Shackle.
Sidebladed
He got the Courier too! With the side blade hit.
Oh boy, what a...
You'll take it. You'll take it if you're Liquid. You'll take everything right now.
It's funny how you can sit down, you can look at the drafts, and you can be like, man, Mineski, you know, when they get to this mid game and it comes to the team fight, it's gonna be great. But when if the lanes go like this, it doesn't even matter. It's like this is they just got flat out run over in the first 5 minutes. It's like Liquid are angry and they're waking up.
Oh my God! Look at the damage. He's got movement speed as well as the damage on him, so Nico just gets beaten down.
They're getting stopped.
But it still feels like this is all just set up with like the earlier stacks. Moon, TA Trap, Weeha, they burn through the Refraction. The Croup Swarm, not enough damage even with the 2 points in Shadow, the 2 stacks of Shadow Poison.
Oh, he might die now in this D.
Plus 80. just keep punching him. Just keep punching him.
Yeah. I would say, like, this is not about me defending myself or something, but like the laning stage of Liquid in this game is going super well, and it's going better than it should, I think. In many ways, you shouldn't get a solo kill mid with TA against the... There was no involvement from anyone else, right? You got the solo kill on the
I
DP.
believe so.
They've been trading very well top, and they've been winning bottom after the Kuro First Blood was given away. The Shadow Demon and Legion Commander have been dying maybe a little bit more than was necessary down here, especially the Shadow Demon with the 3 deaths. And that's just snowballed really, really hard. Like, Liquid have an amazing start now. 4K gold lead, 8 minutes in. All of their cores are looking absolutely fantastic in the game. And
here they go again.
yep.
Shackles out, KP. 2-stick charges, damage reduction from Ninja Boogie will help him survive. And now Miracle underneath the tower still wants to try and press this. A little dangerous.
He gets slowed down too hard. And now we need to look at it from the other side, right? So this probably did not go the way Mineski were expecting. Oh, this should be fine up top here. Oh, never mind, there's Aurora.
Wow. GH, he's only got plus 61, didn't hit up too many. Now the extra TP support's coming in. Both supports up on top lane to try and bring down GH.
I think he's fine. They don't have mana for a stun.
No, they don't. And in fact, meanwhile, Legion Commander dies on bottom lane. Ninja Boogie, Mind Control is the one going after him with the ball slows down. They're having a hard time staying on top. Miracle's taking that tower as well. Mind Control will just walk this off, but GH is coming back in again, plus 120 on the damage. With the movement speed, Mineski is living in a world of fear. And Kuro will drop. Looks like Moon caught him out inside the Trinity camp.
So now that Liquid had this amazing start, you need to look at this lineup for Mineski in a different light. Is how does it play from behind? And that is a totally different story, because Sven wants to farm. He needs some time. And the DP losing the lane means that tempo is gone from that lane, and the Legion Commander, who can usually be this early pressure, is also struggling as Shadow Demon just... they did not fall for that.
He just stops moving.
No, he sent an illusion away hoping they would go for it. They didn't care. Like, what are you trying to do, dude? At least Nico got this one bounty rune top, but yeah. This is like the opposite world now in this game. So compared to last game where Liquid were behind, granted they weren't behind by this much, but they were behind. Their lineup had more options for coming back than it feels like this Dire lineup has from this brave of an early game.
Yeah.
Because DP is too weak, she will die to the burst. The Legion Commander's laning stage doesn't allow it to really go in and get duels off. And Sven flat out doesn't want to fight, he wants to farm. So Liquid are
And even if you get the duel now,
cruising.
there is a save that arrives. It arrives through Miracle having the Yule Scepter available.
Yeah, that's true.
So the rotation is normally coming from the 3 position, which is meant to change the momentum, starts to fall behind.
Yeah, and it's really down to how amazing this bottom and mid lane have gone. Mind Control's lane in this game also went great, but I think the bottom lane especially, they got so much out of it for Miracle, and also Kuro's game, sitting on really good gold right now, working toward probably an Aether Lens. He has the mana boots as position 5 minute 10. Super nice. And yeah, Weehaw just, you know, it seems like when he's on the comfort, he's rolling.
Yep.
It's that TA again. We weren't completely sure about it. They were running out of time. They were like, do we see anything else? And we were saying, it's maybe not the best TA game. You know, the lane matchup, he doesn't care. It's his TA, man.
Liquid coming for a fight. They got Raw available, but it's taking a little too long to get closer towards Moon and KP with the TP to the Shrine. But they realize the TP's happen, and what does Kuro instantly do? Aggressive move forward, look for the wards. His sentry is just out of range of that obs. Only just.
Yeah, okay. It's about as close as it gets.
Yeah. He's going to move over as well and potentially break this smoke of Mineski. They're back behind the tier 2 tower. They're actually, like, they're drawing to rotate around through the top. Catching a Miracle would be absolutely huge for them. But have they actually got enough? Miracle's got Yule Scepter available, and Miracle, no way! No way! They didn't, now they will! They will, they'll pull him back with the Sinister Gaze, cancelling the TP. It was only because the Observer and Sentry even break the tree line down, and Miracle will fall. He's got the Yule Scepter, and it won't work, and KP even arrives to get the duel out. Ragey Potato will be the man to claim the kill. And that was almost the greatest juke, but defensive obs and sentry.
I actually can't believe they couldn't see him to begin with. I was sure the DP got vision of him, but yeah, fog is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a big kill, like you said. It helps. There's still a long way to go right now for Mineski, but it's the start of something good, perhaps. You gotta keep finding the whatever you can get. So your map has been limited very, very much already. You've lost 3 towers, minute 13. You still have quite a ways to go to get key items. Legion Commander doesn't have her first item yet. DP doesn't have her first item yet. And Sven finally getting a 13-minute Midas on the losing side will not be able to contribute very much to this game for probably the next 5 to 10 minutes. So
we have a quick look at this juke from Miracle. Into the trees, around Moon, around Ninja Boogie. Just the 3 of them there able to cover up.
Yeah, Ninja Boogie must have caught a glimpse of him because of how fast he gazed him there. They used the ward to get the vision, so. Oh. Well, back to real time. Leshrac, Yule into stun, and easy pick onto Shadow Demon. And you see how cornered they are, right? If you're playing Sven and you lose the lane stage this hard, the game generally gets very difficult because it's kind of 4 and 5 with Sven farming, but he doesn't have the space to farm because Liquid identify that they're super far ahead. So they're just playing very, very aggressively. They're going to take Roshan minute 14 with Shadow Shaman and the TA.
Moon's coming over though. It's just TA Trap comes in and yeah, Roshan's already taken it now. Moon because the TA Trap. Hexed up, KP's nearby. And Kuro just walks it off. Like they're meant to be the intimidating ones though. Like there's the saves, there's the movement from Mineski, there's the big team fight. Now Moon has to be pressed the attack, gets him away from the split earth. Nichibuki will die in the meantime, but Death Prophet shackled up 4 heroes right on top of him. God, nowhere is safe.
I'm thinking about what the play is for Mineski. I think you actually have to try to fight with Sven. I know it sounds crazy. He has a Midas only.
He's not ready to fight.
But what if you don't? Like, what do you think is going to happen in this game? Liquid are going to take tower after tower. They're going to keep controlling the map. You're not going to be able to farm anywhere. Like, realistically, this Echo Saber doesn't even happen if you don't take a fight. you kind of have to fight to earn the space to farm, right? Now they lost 3 bounty runes. Looks like they are getting
Chain
something.
Frost,
Oh, that's
point blank range
just
with
for the
mind control
hawk!
as well as Miracle. Rage Potato will still end up going down. Wee has the double kill, and the Shackles, they're holding Sven in position. He's got no other choice but to fight now, but maybe move with the Exorcism and the dual damage output. They can bring down Miracle and turn their attention over towards the Templar Assassin. Weeha is a huge kill to take. He's already got a triple kill. They'll burn through the Aegis Immortal. Mind Control is nearby. He's just pushing the creep wave for the moment. As Weeha, he wants to fight in towards KP. A quick press to attack. Moon and KP want to run out, but the TA trap slows him down. Mind Control still waiting for the right time to get in. But all he can do is give him the vision.
That was the right idea from Mineski, though. That's what they needed to do. They got a really good Chain Frost, but it bounced off to the Hawk. And Mind Control flew it away. You don't even control it, right? He's just casted. You can't control the Hawk anymore, so it's just going there. And fortunately for him, the last chance that Lich ulti has of bouncing on it does do that. And that was a huge thing for that fight for Liquid. If that Chain Frost would have kept bouncing, I think Mineski get a little bit of a comeback there. And Sven did fight, and I think, again, it was the right thing to do. Now he doesn't have God Strength. Now it's like really useless. But I think you gotta try it again. Next God Strength, next DP ulti, look for the fight. See if you can get something done. You still, when you are down this much, getting even an even fight is good.
They're starting on Miracle. Purge him up. How much damage you got, but you don't have that God Strength available. But Raging Potato just keeps going in, stacking up as much poison as possible, and they have enough. Raging Potato gets the pop. Meanwhile, Lich will die. GH pumping hard, 149 damage a hit. Now press the attack, turning around with Weeha's Meld Strike. Moon just does not have enough armor or life to survive, and even KP doesn't have the movement speed. Triggers the phase boots, but he'll run over the top of a TA trap. Another slow down press attack will help him break free. ET will put him to sleep with the stomp and the splitter. They'll put everything they've got into KP, and Weeha will then follow up with the meld connection too. And KP, difficult to kill, but not impossible.
10,000 gold lead. So what I was getting at was when you're this far behind, minute 17, even an even fight is a big win for you. Like breaking even on kills will give you much more than the enemy team. And
I love this. Miracle using the Beastmaster's ball to close the distance easily, right on top of Nico. And SD was in the neighborhood as well. Clean up the illusions just to save Kuro's life.
Oh, Weeha setting a trap top. Literally.
Ready to go with that Blink Dagger Deso.
If Moon walks out, he's dead, I think. He still doesn't have a Yule.
No, not available. Spirit Siphon won't be enough. KP can't get there in time. Weeha just knows what he can get away with. There's 3 heroes chasing him. But he's already blinked. They can't close the distance.
He's fine.
Well, that's a nice rune as well for Miracle. Easy Arcane for a Leshrac. And that should be enough to seal the fate of the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
Man, I can't believe he still doesn't have a Yule minute 18 in DP. He's been destroyed this game.
He's been trying. Only 100 or 90 gold away from it.
You gotta wonder, Liquid, like, getting this kind of momentum has gotta feel really good for them. You know, they've had a hard time so far. Now they're really clicking in this game. Everything is just combining exactly the way they wanted to with their strategy, with their individual plays. Nobody has made any big mistakes. It's got to feel good for them moving forward. The game is not over yet, but it's very close. They have a huge advantage. The Dota Plus says 97%, and I think the last 3% comes down to Liquid basically overextending and getting caught in a fight where the Death Prophet gets to have a full ulti running, and maybe they get a good Chain Frost. Because, yeah. Options are very limited right now for the Dire side.
And they're just trying to get any kind of vision control over the bottom. Stun over on Sven, put to sleep. But there's no follow-up. Team Liquid, like, Weeha's still farming up. He's wanting to finish the BKB before Liquid fight. This is, as you said, like, it's such a cleaner game from Team Liquid.
Oh, they found the Lesh. Oh, well, Lesh found them, kind of. He broke the smoke on Legion.
Where's the attack then? You're coming down further, you're putting down more sentry wards, more
They want to go
ops.
for the bounties at 20, I think.
Liquid are ready to push in through top. Mass Open was level 2, ready to plant down. And Mineski are on the other side of the map. They're here for the 20-minute bounty runes, as you said, but Liquid know what they're here for. They're here for a tier 3 tower. ET Spirit moves around the back. They don't see anybody. Now they'll see Moon, who can just Crypt Swarm to try and slow down the wave. The damage reduction on the tower can't even help it. It just dies so quickly. KP's trying to get rid of these wards, but that means it's a jump in. The side blade hit. Moon and Ninjabugi down to 50% so quickly. We finished the job over on Ninjabugi. Nice double stun from Nico. That allowed them to go right over the top of Miracle. Dead for 50 seconds. The stomp, slowing things down. Defensive disruption from Raging Potato. They still need to bring down Weeheart. This BKB time is being wasted. KP needs the movement speed to get away. He'll have it, but Nico won't be so lucky with the overwhelming odds and the Chain Frost. Liquid have taken heavy amounts of damage. And Kuro just can't get away from it. It's the Sentry Wall that's planted down. They see everything, and Reggie Potato's poison finishes the job. Boogie is dying to balls of mind control. And Weeha wants to go for another fight. Into Raging Potato, hits with the Metal Strike. Triple kill for him. TA traps it down as well. KP's got no other choice but to really turn around and try and fight this. A 3-man silence. Moon through the back line. He needs to bring down one of these big cords. He's looking towards Weeha. He may be able to have it. No refraction. Melt available, but the sentry was still there. Weeha will go down. GH now with the splitter, but the duel is out. How much damage have you got? A fair amount. That's 209 plus over on the ET, but that's why SD's defensive disruption saves KP, gives him the duel victory. And Mineski, they're actually holding the line. Their top lane of Rax is still intact. Injured, but intact.
Yeah, I think Miracle overestimated how tanky he was there. He actually stood very aggressively between these barracks with, again, they don't have any save on their team, as we've talked about in their draft. If you play without a save on Leshrac, if you're going to go in and die for your team, it needs to set up something big, but it felt like the risk-reward there wasn't really favoring how aggressively he was standing. You could still edict the barracks from further away than he did and maybe be a little safer, but the double stun from Sven really allowed Mineski to hold their base. And they won a duel. They got the big kill on the TA, which was very clutch Yule from Moon. It was almost a finished Elder Titan stomp, and then he Yuled him to cancel that, and they could chase for the kill. And Moon got 1k gold for that kill. So he has a Ghost Scepter.
It was an 11 kill streak.
Yep. Liquid are still very firmly in the lead. There was only a minor bump because there was a buyback coming out from the Lich. Yeah, and they did get the tier 3 tower.
They share both Lich as well as SD.
Oh, SD bought back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
They got 2 of them.
Yep. So 2 buybacks. The good news for Mineski is, first of all, they hold, and secondly, maybe their Sven will get another item than the Echo Saber before this next fight. He can get a dagger, perhaps they can get the surprise jump, maybe catch supports in the back line, or blow up the Leshrac as the Aegis has been given to Wii once again.
It's the very, I like this optimistic version of Yusin. This is that top lane team fight once more.
And you see Miracle here, he's standing very aggressively, just gets Demonic Purged and killed off.
And it's like Liquid kind of BKB got weighted because like one was asleep, the other was imprisoned.
Yep, the saves buying time. And nice overwhelming odds here, and then eventually the Chain Frost also. This was a really good fight for Mineski. That's super hard. Back in live though.
Yep. Weeha, he's the man on the front lines trying to bait out with the Aegis and more big abilities. Another Yule Scepter being used. The Blink Dagger is now on this vent, so he's got the jump ready to go. It's ticking down on Wii.
They don't have any heals, so I think they might have to call this
out.
one off.
Lashrac's already TP'd to bottom lane. Miracle's gone. Oh yeah, it's true. He's got BTs. He can come back.
He could come back. He's just going to clean this up while the rest of his team stay together and control the area. And then once this push is out bottom, you would imagine he comes back. This time, Miracle will have a cheese. So if they want to kill him, it has to be a burst or in a duel, which is entirely possible. Love this choice from DP, by the way, what Moon is going. I think it's the perfect item right now. You're struggling, you have to find a way of getting into the backlines and getting into the fight. He's going to go Blink Dagger after the Ghost Scepter and just try to set something up.
Well, Team Liquid is smoked. Weeha reveals himself in towards mid, but Moon's caught on the wrong side of the tracks.
Oh, he's so dead if he gets caught.
Yeah, he needs to go to the trees.
He didn't get caught, though.
Well, he's hiding in the trees, though. He feels like something is coming his way. See, well, Axe is flying from mind control, and Moon will hold back his own Crypt Swarm.
Oh my God, he just wants his dagger. Oh, he's gonna cast it when he gets 2 melee creeps here.
Oh, jump forward. You already got the storm ball, but no Nico!
Wait,
he's on the hill! He blinked forward and then she clipped himself! Oh no! Disruption from Raging Potato. At least he'll dodge the one stun, but how the hell does Nico get down from here? He actually RT'd himself, roared, shackled, and splitter. Everything they had, they threw at him.
He tipped his teammate.
Tipped by his own teammate. That is, God damn it.
Oh, that's so sad. You know, I was really looking forward to this fight because I thought it would be really cool to see how they could execute from this far behind, and I was sure like Liquid are super favored, they're gonna win this fight, but I still want to see this fight out of Mineski, what they can do with
And he blinks on a hill.
How does that even happen? He must have overshot the blink, right? When we click it too far and it does 3/4 of the range, or 4/5, and he landed on the, oh man, that stings.
On the bright
bad.
side, he'll be back up again in 12 seconds, and they won't lose a Rax.
I'm
But
actually
he won't have
surprised.
God Strength.
I'm surprised Liquid aren't pressing the issue way harder. I think they could have just taken the rank straight up. Like Sven without his God Strength down for 40 seconds, I think they could have gone top and just dropped the snakes.
They're having a hard time keeping their creep waves alive.
Yeah, maybe they didn't have. I wasn't paying very close attention to the waves.
They were all slightly outside the base. Sentry Wards being planted, staying down the Plague Wards. Spurton Wards gets get rid of that melee Rags, but the fortification's up. Two hits, Ninja Boogie down, going in very, very deep. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal, they still have the Nullifier available too, and they're burning through him. Moon's done the work. Weeha defensive refraction charge. He's actually walking this off. He's not gonna go down. Moon blinks in, goes for the Yule Scepter once again, brought up as a counter from Mind Control defense, disruption from Raging Potato. All it's doing is just ensuring that Moon survives through the Exorcism, but they've already taken the top lane of Rax. Clean to get in and out from Team Liquid.
Not losing the Aegis means they can go again very soon. Weeha's going to TP back and use the Shrine, and they're probably going to reconnect and keep playing aggressively around the bottom triangle area. Get in there, while they still have this Aegis for another minute. The only thing that is long on a long cooldown is the Shaman Wards. 40 seconds on the Roar will be available for the Aegis still. And they might just go straight mid instead. Okay.
Exorcism's down,
Next lane.
go for it. Raging Potato's trying to get rid of the creep wave, but it won't work. Moon doesn't really have a lot to give, and now they got the damage into Miracle, but consumes the cheese. Straight back up to full life. GH puts him to sleep, and Sven, he's the one going to be caught out. Earth split it up. Ninja Boogie now throw out that Chain Frost. As much damage as they've got left, Sven will have to buy back as Mind Control and GH walk away from each other. Actually, they can just tank through it. Miracle, however, cannot tank through this. The duel will hold him in position and bring him down, while Weeha try to get cheeky into the backline to get some damage output, but it's Mineski running forward. The war cry, everyone buffed up, everyone looking for the kill, and they're going to get it on Weeha. Burn through the Aegis Immortal. The buyback now comes in from the Lash, and he'll TP himself forward into the Death Prophet. Stunned up from Mind Control's Roar, and they turn their attention towards the 3 position. KP, defensive disruption, will buy some time, but Miracle will just end up going for both. Weeha will take care of one. The shackles from Kuro burns through the Ghost Scepter time at the SD as KP really keeps trying to outrun them, but it won't work. The Nullifier follows. The only thing keeping Mineski in this game right now are these buybacks to potentially defend the lane of Rax. They'll still lose their range, but the attack goes for more. Sven, he's still farming up the top lane. He's not even back just yet. He's TPing home to regen up, but they'll lose their mid lane of Rax. One left.
Shaman Wards are up again. Death Prophet Exo in 5 seconds. You saw them holding there before without the Exorcism, so this time they will have it, but Liquid's lead is now really huge.
They
They
stole
gotta
the
go.
quest. They force up and forward instantly evaporates. Down for a minute and a half. Exorcism or not.
Force into the instant burst from Kuro, and
that's why they tipped
gotta
him.
be the game.
It was Kuro's first forced off, and GG is called Mineski. They did everything they possibly could to hold that ground, but my God. Team Liquid, we thought their draft was going to be slow, but hey, when you win all 3 lanes, your game seems to go well. Here's our official GG.
Yeah, that was just it was a totally different Liquid in this game. They played great in all 3 lanes. We